Good morning, Yasha Allah, and all the diaspora. We greet you in the mighty name of our Father Yahweh, and in the right arm of his power, our Mashiach, Yahweh Shai, we call him. And you know what I always tell you, brethren, put your name there, the name that you call him. And in the mighty Rawak. Yes, we greet you in the name of power and might and all endurance. Welcome you to this short session. We're going to discuss this morning or present to you, let this mind be in you. Indeed. Philippians chapter 2 and verse 5, it says, let's find it. Let's find it. Philippians 2 and 5. It says, let this mind be in you, which was in Mashiach, the Malach of Yasha Allah. And with this mind being in you, first of all, I believe it is all right. And I think that Yasha Allah, all over the diaspora, with our brethren of the northern tribes, down in South America, Canada, down in the eastern, south and southeastern Caribbean. We greet you, we doubly greet you. And bring you more fully into the conversation as we have been referencing the house of Yahweh. Now we reference in connection with the house of Yahweh, Ephraim. You know, the two sticks? Yes, bringing the two sticks together in all the diaspora, Yasha Allah, the house of praise unto the Most High, Yahweh. And so what I suggest to you, brethren, is an apology to Esau. I think, brethren, that we owe Esau an apology. The fact that we have sat by, stood by, and allowed Esau to continue his rampage and his rant in our beloved land of promise that was granted to us by the Most High Elohim, Yahweh. And because of our own rebellion, or the rebellion of our forefathers, they were let out of the land, actually kicked out by Esau himself. And this is easily known by the renderings of history and in the scriptures. For in the scriptures, you have Amalek, you know, in Titus and Vespasian, destroying the last temple in Jerusalem, and thereafter being responsible for the fulfilling of the prophecy that there should not be left one stone upon another, according to Luke chapter 21. There won't be one stone left upon another that would not be thrown down. When Titus, Vespasian, and the boys, the Edomite dogs, got through their project, they raised it. No stone left upon another. They cleaned the temple out, and thereafter took over the land, because our forefathers ran into Africa and was simultaneously scattered into the other parts of the earth, as Esau, Amalek wanted them to be. And so I think we owe Esau an apology for allowing him to pretend to be us, even though when we go through the whole scriptures, the whole set of our scriptures that we have in hand, that's not counting what we don't have, and some parts that, some bits and pieces that Esau is throwing up on the internet. And in those pieces, those parts of the scriptures, when we add them to what we have had already, we can see a seamless line. I imagine it's so with maybe most of the other scriptures that we don't have, and possibly all of what we don't have. For sure, what we have in our hands as King James and the Revised Standard Version and the other versions, if you go into them, you will see a seamless line with Esau straight through from Genesis straight to Revelation. Esau is the devil straight through. You look at all the references in the scriptures. I didn't come prepared to deliver that information to you directly at the present, but I have gone through, and this is what I saw. Esau was straight through the scriptures as the devil's children, anyway, doing his due. And so, having destroyed our temple and chased out our forefathers who rebelled against the Messiah so hard that as their children, the Most High sent all of us out. And true to his word, Abba Yahweh didn't spare anybody. He sent everybody out of Jerusalem. And Yehoiada, the three tribes proper, and whatever remnants might have been there, he sent them all out. So you can imagine then, or I invite you to imagine, in fact, to see it thus, that coming out of Jerusalem at that time were all levels of brain power coming out of Yasha into Africa and the other parts where they were scattered, where Yasha was scattered. Brain power, prophets, apostles, kings, rulers and governors at all levels. Those who even did not take part in the rebellion, as such. Abiyah ran everybody out. He allowed Amalek, Esau, to do it. Run everybody out. And thereafter, Esau took over the land and claimed it for himself, and has since been there, still claiming it for himself, and doing the most dastardly evil. I mean, evil in living colors, and claiming the place where Yahweh has set his name there. His name is actually written there in the land. I don't know if Esau knows where it is, but I know for sure his name is there. I seen it there. So yeah, we have allowed this Yasha'Allah for all these years. We allowed Esau to be there and lay claim to the land while he does the most gruesome evil deeds in the land of promise, in the land of peace, where the name of our Abba is there. Our fathers ran out and left it, so Esau could have it, inhabit it, claim it as his own, while he be the habitation of devils, demons, the most despicable evil you could think of. Esau is there inhabiting the land, and he's having a go at it, allowing his evil self to proliferate and be enlarged in the land. Evil, only evil. Thankful to the Most High now that he's calling it in, getting ready to wrap it up, and to cast out the devil and his children, and return the sanctity of the set apart land with Abba Yah and his children, and our Mashiach, the right hand of Yah's power. All right then, so we have given the apology to Esau. So sorry that we let that burden be upon you to promote yourself as being the people of the Most High when you are the house of Satan, according to Revelation chapter 2 and 9. Revelation chapter 3 and 9. You are the synagogue of Satan. And we let the whole world know now. Because, you are who you are, and you love being who you are, but you're afraid to tell the whole world who you are. So we're helping you out now to express your true colors, who you are, the house of Satan. So you got your name fixed for you now. We are the people, right? We are the trendsetters, Yasha'Allah. So we're letting you know who you are. And that's your name, the devil, children. We go back to the main body of our study now, Philippians 2. It's 5. It says, let this mind be in you, which was also in Hamashiach, the Malach of Yasha'Allah, who being in the form of Elohim, or Yahweh, thought it not robbery to be equal with Elohim, but made himself of no reputation, and took upon him the form of a servant, and was made in the likeness of men. Did you get that, rebels of Yasha'Allah? He was made in the likeness of men, not the son of Joseph, only the likeness. Got that? I think you're getting it now. You might hate it, but that's what it is. And those of us who know the Most High and the Mashiach, our Malak, our captain, we know who he is. We know who he is. And we are equipped to proclaim him to you, our brethren, who lack the understanding and the knowledge of who the Mashiach is. We proclaim him unto you today, that you also may receive him as who he is, and receive the forgiveness of sins, and be officially added into the body, not as a natural blood son, but as also the called of Abaya, brought in by the cleansing, washing, water of the word whereby we are sanctified, Hamashiach, coming in the flesh to be a sacrifice for sin unto Yasha'Allah and unto the ends of the earth. We proclaim him to you, brothers and sisters, our family, by blood, in the natural, but we want to take it a step further and be family by blood unto the Mashiach. He shed his blood in a blood oath covenant that he made with us from way back when Yah called unto Abraham and declared unto Abraham that he would make Abraham a great nation, and then showed him the covenant ratified, signed in blood, that he himself would make good. Abaya would make it good by sending the Mashiach, his word, his right hand of power, to come in the flesh and redeem Yasha'Allah and be the redemption of all unto the ends of the earth. Firstly, firstborn, Yasha'Allah. And so the scripture is reminding us that even and although the Mashiach was in the form of Al-Hayam, the form of Al-Han Yahweh, and himself, Mashiach, didn't think it was some form of robbery to be equal with Al-Hayam. But he made himself no reputation, humbled himself, and took upon him. You brothers got to get this. You unbelievers, you rebels in Yasha'Allah. Our brothers, rebels, you holding the nation back. You giving Satan, Gabriel, and Edom fuel to burn down our nation with by your hatred of the Mashiach and unwillingness to yield yourself to the greatest love that is unmatched by anyone in the history of creation. Greater love hath no man than this. I think that's in Yohanan 17, I believe it is. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. Then the Apostle Paul takes it a little bit further, maybe in Corinthians, I believe, that for scarcely, for, I guess he says, a righteous man would one, offer himself to die. And maybe for a good man, some would make the offer to die. So, these offerings being made had in them the possibility of maybe. There was a maybe in it. Maybe some would even dare to die. They might even dare to do it. There was the possibility of turning back. There was a sense of the possibility of a hindrance against doing it. There was no hindrance with the Mashiach. A further scripture says that while we were yet sinners, rebels to the Most High, himself, and against the covenant, while we were rebels, he gave Mashiach to die for us, to be the surety of forgiveness for us. Imagine that. We are the rebels, fighting, they say tooth and nail, to get away from him. Don't want anything to do with him. And he lays his life down. You know what they did at the crucifixion. Amalek, Esau. Esau was proud in Pilate, and Herod, and all them Roman soldiers. They were proud to have the Mashiach under their hand, to bust him up. And Yahweh, Isaiah, this gives the picture, one account of his suffering. Beaten and destroyed more than the sons of men. Esau was so exultant, having Gadriel in the background with all them demon boys. They were, how we say it, they were in G. They had the pleasure roughing him up, beating him down, plaiting the crown of thorns, and putting upon him, who, in verse, I think if we listen to the rebels of our brethren, we should have to put who being in the form of Joseph, humbled himself and became obedient unto death in the form of Joseph. Doesn't say that. Who being in the form of Al-Hayam. That's what it says in the scriptures. And so, being found in verse 8 of chapter 2, Philippians, being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself. He accepted it. Abba Yah sent him, and he accepted it. In Hebrews chapter, what's it, chapter 10? I forget the chapter at the moment, but in Hebrews anyhow, it shows you the extent of his humiliation. And in the beginning of Hebrews, it shows you the Mashiach being the instrument of Abba Yahweh and creating the worlds. You think Joseph could have done that? Or Joseph's son could have done that? Create the worlds and all therein? You got to be foolish, brothers and sisters, to think that. You got to be completely out of your mind. Because the scriptures warns us that even the devil believes and tremble. They tremble because they understand who they're dealing with. You know, when the Mashiach walked in Jerusalem back in the day, when those fellows from the Confederacy of Gadriel, see, when they met upon the Mashiach, they cried out, "What we got to do with you, man? You come to torment us before the time? Get the hint of that, you rebels in Yasha Allah." They understood that they were in the presence of absolute power and authority, and they acknowledged it freely. Go through your scriptures again. I'm not afraid to invite you to go there, because I know what you're going to see. You're going to see that demons tremble. And they came out at his word, left the place where they had as a home, where they tormented those souls for years and years, until the Mashiach stepped on the scene. And they're going like that, right like that. Power. Couldn't stand before it. Had to leave, had to go, and ask for permission for where they should go. We're talking about power, brothers and sisters, in Yasha Allah. This is our Mashiach. And so he became obedient. He became obedient. He wasn't forced. For the good man who might think about dying or even dare to die for a friend or, some acquaintance. But the Mashiach, found in fashion as a man, humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even the death of the stake. And for this reason, Elohim, Yahweh, hath also highly exalted him. I think somewhere in either in Matthew or Luke, in that area, in the area of what we call, the Gospels, the Mashiach says, it's probably Yochanan 17. He says, the Father loved me because I lay down my life. Come on, Yasha Allah. What more proof you need? I mean, except you want to be the Messiah yourself. He says, the Father loved me because I lay down my life for the sheep. And I take it again. I have the power to, oh, come on, Yasha Allah. What can you do against the word of the Most High? I have the power to lay it down. Say none but Daddy Joseph, give me the power. He said, I got the power. Joseph don't have to give me nothing. I got the power. And he says, this commandment I receive of my father. No mention of Joseph. You got that from demons, doctrine of devils. You need to give it up, Yasha'Allah. Come to the truth. And the truth shall make you free. So the Mashiach has highly exalted our Mashiach and given him a name which is above every name. That at the name of Hamashiach, every knee should bow. Whatsoever in heaven and earth and under the earth, and all those stiff tongues. We have a word in the Bahamas. We say bigeti. And the more precise English, it would be bigot or bigotry. But we say bigotry. It's everything, every tongue shall confess, even the bigotry ones, that Hamashiach is master to the esteem of Yahweh Elohim, the Father. So, again, we call in Yasha'Allah, our brethren, understand who you're dealing with. And we get to our kind of regular subject this time, reparations. I tell you that Esau and Satan will never give you a reparation. Never. And they're telling you all the while, they ain't doing it. They ain't doing it. Except it is commanded by power. That's how you're going to get it, Yasha'Allah, by power. By power that cannot be spoken against and ruled over. That's how we get it, Yasha'Allah. And I've said it several times by now, and our Mashiach, our Father Most High, is very wise. Because if he had left it open, I mean, even Satan himself would come for reparations. Because everybody think that they could get over on Yasha'Allah and take what they want, when they want it, as they wish to have it. But the Mashiach is in charge of this operation. No man come to the Father but by me, he says. And you ain't gonna get what Satan and Esau have stolen away from you, unless you got power to get it. We got power this morning, Yasha'Allah. I invite you. We got power in Abaya and in the right arm of his power, Hamashiach, our mother. The one before whom the host of demons trembled, ran for covering. In his day, in the flesh, in our land, where Esau is now, spoiling all his evil and contriving all his, all of what he wants to push against us in his make-believe world, as though he really has some power. But this is a part of the issue we're faced with now. And I continue to go back to the point that we need power to open the hands of the enemy who got to be in our land and claim it for himself or themselves. I mean, power, brothers. And I am happy to offer to you all, as to myself, Hamashiach, our mother. He's the one who laid his life down for us. He said, I lay my life down for the sheep. And Yashara, you're my sheep. He said, my sheep hear my voice and they follow me. And a stranger they will not follow. You get that? Bless the Most High for those brothers, our brothers and sisters, who know the shepherd and who are the sheep of his pasture, of his sheepfold. So, well, let me backtrack a little bit and show you another matter. The matter of teaching the scriptures, as we are careful to seek after doing the order of what we have adopted, I guess, as a word, following or taking on the Great Commission. That's according to Matityahu 28. I think that's it. Where the Mashiach says, and isn't this so wonderful, brethren? Matityahu 28. I think he says, all power is given unto me. So here we come right back to basics. You want reparations? You gotta have power. But Esau tells you over and over, with a square mouth, I ain't giving it to you. That's what he says. I ain't giving it to you. And when he makes an attempt at doing something, he spreads it out with everybody else. That's how wicked and disgusting, nasty Esau is. A piece of crap. That's what Esau is. But we got power. And Mashiach came, Yahushua spake unto them, saying, all power is given unto me in heaven and in earth. You want power for reparation? You got to come to Mashiach, Yasha Allah. What's wrong with you? I mean, yes, we were delivered to chattel slavery. We were whipped to pieces, raped and brutalized and fed to the alligators and, all manner of beasts in the Colosseum in Rome. Brutalized, butchered, all over the earth, butchered, broken up for our rebellion, unwillingness to acknowledge the sovereignty of our power, who made covenant with us based on his own ability to make it good. And depending on you to make it good, Yasha Allah, you couldn't make it good. What's wrong with you? Whose sin can you die? To cleanse? Whose sin can you cleanse with your blood? Yasha Allah? You ain't got it in you. Oh, Yasha Allah. How come you can't recognize the grace and the authority behind that grace? The one who makes it good. Your power. creator of the heavens and earth. That's who Amalek and Esau was manhandling, mishandling in your land when they did the crucifixion. And they stopped by to take over your land and dictate to you. But I think Esau did something. I guess I could say it's good, because look what Esau did. Knowing that he crucified the Mashiach in the land of Yasharel, Esau drove the people out, tribe of Yehuda, Benjamin, and Levi, drove them out. Then Esau himself took over the land and also provided himself with a Mashiach or Messiah. And you know Esau Messiah. You see him all the time. You see the disgusting, creepy, white, crumpling Jesus. Esau did it. He gave you a will, not you. He gave or projected, showed forth his Messiah. That's Esau's Messiah. That ain't your Messiah, Yasha Allah. But we took it because we quick to wrap everything up in one. Esau wasn't doing that. After he crucified our Messiah, he created his own and gave you that to have you represent that as your own. That's what it is. That is what happened in history. Esau gave you his Messiah, his Mashiach. And in fact, we know the historical records show that Esau whipped you in various stages of enslavement, whipped you and brutalized you to make you confess that you would own that weak white piece of meat as your Messiah, kill you, and force you to own it as yours. And now we all over the earth calling this weak, puny piece of nothing, toilet refuse, our Mashiach. That's wrong, Yashala. Wake up yourself. Come out of your sleep and come back home to the kingdom of Yah's grace in Hamashiach, our mother. I mean, the simple fact is that what Esau gave you in slavery as a Messiah was his Messiah. And so I think you should have no problem now in giving that up. I know over the years, we've had trouble with asking our people to give it up. All in the name God and the rest of the garbage. We've had trouble asking our brethren to give it up. We're back at you again and letting you know that these were Esau contraptions against the Most High, against the Messiah whom he crucified in our land. And whom he still continues to rage and run against, because the grace of the Most High allows him. He says that Jerusalem shall be trodden underfoot the Gentiles until their time is up. Remember that? All these things are under his purview, the allowance of the Most High. And he tells you that he put all rulings into the hand of the Mashiach, and the Mashiach proclaims it. All power, Matisyahu 28, all power is given unto me in heaven and on earth. Now, if he got all power, Is there any part of it that's not given to him? So you think Esau could get by with saying he ain't gonna pay reparations to the people that he brutalized and disinherited in the power of demons and Gadriel and God, all that garbage and that we had to put up with? I mean, we are at the tail end now of the children of Yasha'Allah. We are the children. I mean, we are the babies. You have to come behind our big, our huge, strong forefathers, who could fight bulls and lions. We are the children, little puny children we come down to. But we can stand like men. Little though we be, we gonna stand like men in the Mashiach and for his name and for the cause of Yah, our Father, for the kingdom. If we do that, Yasha'Allah, there ain't no power in hell that can withstand us. Because we don't come in our own name. We come in the name of power, HaMashiach, who stands as he did with Yahushua, Yeshua, Gideon, Jephthah, and Barak, the prophetess Huldah, and the others, all the prophets and prophetess, and set apart men that the Father sent to give courage and to help strengthen Yasha'Allah to face the battles against the enemies. And in the Old Testament, Old Covenant says, the Malach of the Most High, the Malachim of the Most High, came and said to Yahushua, or to Gideon, or to all the others, this was the Mashiach, the word of the Most High. In other parts of the scripture, it graduates to say, it moves away from the Malach, what we say as angel of the Most High, unto the word of the Most High. This was the Mashiach in the Old Covenant, coming to fight for Yasha'Allah before he came in the flesh. The word coming in the flesh. The body, a human body, to lay his life down for us, Yasha'Allah, to reclaim us unto himself on the behalf of the Father. So, as I started to say, I always get carried away on this. When I talk about the Messiah, it just carries me away. He's so awesome. I was saying that Esau flipped the script on teaching true people, because after he claimed himself as the true people and hid the scriptures and began spoon feeding it to us now, and made it seem that he was the one, or his people are the ones who were the guardians of the scriptures. The whole world was looking to Esau as the people. And as we have now come to the acceptance of our heritage and beginning to put the pieces together, we find that Esau having taken precedence over us and claiming the ownership of being the people. Now, as we proceed to follow the Great Commission, go ye therefore, as Matthew 28:19, go ye therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the set apart Ruach, and teach them to observe all things. We forget Matthew 10:24. that says, I am not sent, but to the lost tribes of, um, of the house of Yash'Allah. Let me see if I can find that. Batakum. Verse 10. Let's see. Baba. That's as Matthew 15, pardon me, brethren, 15 and 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. I want you to get it, Yasha'Allah, because for too long, as we have been desirous of following what we call the Great Commission, that is to go into all the world, teach the good news, we have forgotten the first principle that the Mashiach laid down himself. And he said, I am not sent, but to the lost sheep of the house of Yasha'Allah. This is where you have to concentrate, Yasha'Allah. Can you imagine Mashiach giving precedent to Esau, his chief enemy, to go teach him? And he's the devil. He don't even care. Esau don't care about being taught righteousness. That is not a concern to Esau. I think we see in the scriptures that when people of the nations wanted anything from the Mashiach, they came to him on bended knees, prostrate, recognizing who he is, who he was. In penitence, they came to him to receive of his salvation. I think that's a good place for us to begin, to let the nations understand that this grace that we have received in the Mashiach is not for fun and favor. It's a serious business. And if you're coming to receive of this grace through us, who are declaring it and showing them the way, let them come in a proper order unto us. We got to stand for the word of Abba, our Father, through the Mashiach, the power of his grace and salvation unto Yasha'Allah by his mighty Ruach. The Most High bless and keep you, Yasha'Allah, this day and always. Shalom.